The Weed Porn Daily podcast is brought to you by PGP Discounters. If you're looking for medical marijuana in California and you're too stoned to get out of the house, they are the perfect service for you. Looking for high quality, organic, top shelf marijuana, possibly some edibles? Maybe you need some rolling papers to go with that weed. Just go to WeedPornDaily.com/PGP and you'll be able to see PGP Discounters' full menu on Weed Maps. You'll also be able to see their location, their hours, as well as their phone number to give them a call and order up some medical marijuana. Also, on Wednesdays, they run a special promotion where it's Hump Day, I believe, giveaway. And the, like a certain number caller, I think it's like the 7th caller in for a purchase, gets a free, I think the value was like $25 prize. So, sorry, the information sounds sketch as fuck. I was saying it's so slow, but I couldn't remember it at the moment. But Hump Day giveaways, 7th caller, $25 giveaway of a mystery prize. Check them out, WeedPornDaily.com/PGP. Medical marijuana in California, delivered right to your door. The Weed Porn Daily podcast is also brought to you by the Weed Porn Daily Stoner Shop. Head over to WeedPornDaily.com and click the shop button, because I fucked that up, or go to shop.weedporndaily.com. We have t-shirts, hoodies, iPhone cases, laptop skins, throw pillows. We've got it all. Just stuff emblazoned with stonerific designs, weed-inspired stuff. Everything I've done on that, I've done when I'm super baked. Check out the medical marijuana design. Recently, we just added a Tommy Chong t-shirt and iPhone case, pillow, everything. Check it out. It's a portrait that I did of Tommy Chong. It's like a recent portrait too, so it's like him like now, you know. It's not him in the heyday. It's like a current portrait with the classic font Chong right up front. So check it out. Shop.weedporndaily.com. Thank you to PGP for sponsoring us. That's awesome, guys. Really, you guys, if you're in the area, check them out. Would really appreciate it. They've got some dank stuff. From what I've seen on Weed Maps, like you could see it yourself, like the nugs are fucking frosty as fuck. And just the range of their menu, I was really surprised. Just the great amount of edibles they had, as well as they're like essentially like a little head shop. They give you like the rolling papers, which I mean every dispensary does, but they deliver. You know, like you're getting those rolling papers to your door. It's kind of like when you have your buddy go out and get you rolling papers or Dutches from the corner store. You know, just even more convenient. So let's get this podcast started, eh? Welcome to the Weed Porn Daily podcast. I'm Grouch, the editor, owner, designer, the ganja guru behind Weed Porn Daily, the asshole behind the Ask the Editor section. Head over to WeedPornDaily.com. Follow us on Twitter, WeedPornDaily. Follow us on Tumblr, blog.weedporndaily.com. Follow us on Instagram, Ganja Grouch. I know, fucking somebody got to there before me. And I think that's it. Like us on Facebook, Weed Porn Daily. And I got a lot of shit, so I'm gonna get right into it. We're gonna get into the news. If you want to follow along, head over to blog.weedporndaily.com/tagged/news. Or you can just go to WeedPornDaily and hit the Weeducation button up top, I think. Something like that. Just click around the website, man. You'll find your way. But this news is a bit old. You might have to do a bit of scrolling in the archives. It is, the first article I'm going to touch on is 6 days old. So you might have to do a little scrolling. But it's a really, I mean, just this article in itself, you think would be enough. Yeah, sorry. Keep fucking running up to it. New study shows cannabis effects on driving skills. This comes to us from Science Daily. I'm honest, like, I would read it, but they hit this point where actually I will read it so I can rant about it. How about that? New research appearing online today in the Clinical Chemistry, the journal of AACC, shows that cannabis can be detected in the blood of daily smokers for a month after last intake. The scientific data in the paper by Bergamashi et al. Can provide real help in the public safety need for a drug driving policy that reduces the number of drug driving accidents on the road. Ooh, excuse me, that was the Chicken Kitchen. Cannabis is second only to alcohol for causing impaired driving and motor vehicle accidents. In 2009, 12.8% of young adults reported driving under the influence of illicit drugs, and in the 2007 National Roadside Survey, more drivers tested positive for drugs than for alcohol. These cannabis smokers had a tenfold increase in car crash injury compared with infrequent or non-users after adjustment for blood alcohol concentration. In this paper, 30 male chronic daily cannabis smokers, I like that term, 30 male chronic daily cannabis smokers. I am a male chronic daily cannabis smoker. Like, what a title. I like that. 30 male chronic daily cannabis smokers resided on a secure research unit for up to 33 days with daily blood collection. 27 of the 30 participants were THC positive on admission, with a median range concentration of 1.4. Oh, my science is rusty. I don't know that symbol. 1.4, this weird UG/liters. I'm guessing that's maybe nanograms per liter? Possibly. Don't take my word for it, because I've seen it as NG for nanograms. THC decreased gradually with only 1 of 11 participants negative at 26 days. 2 of 5 remained THC positive for 30 days. These results demonstrate for the first time that cannabinoids can be detected in blood of chronic daily cannabis smokers during a month of sustained abstinence. This is consistent with the time course of persisting neurocognitive impairment reported in recent study. God damn, that was a mouthful. Let me reread that just so you guys can absorb that. This is consistent with the time course of persisting neurocognitive impairment reported in recent studies and suggests the establishment of per se THC legalization might achieve a reduction in motor vehicle injuries and death. I'm going to stop here because I want to stop reading you guys bullshit. Number 1. Let's head back to the second paragraph I was reading there, where they start talking about studies. They start listing studies and percentages, and they tie that in to cannabis. So in 2009, 12.8% of young adults reported driving under the influence of illicit drugs. So 12.8% of young adults were driving under the influence of illicit drugs. Clearly, illicit drugs. So that could mean heroin, that could mean cocaine, that could mean... sorry guys, my list, I don't know that many drugs. I'm pretty straight edge. But illicit drugs, that it does not specifically say cannabis. And then they go on to say that more drivers tested positive for drugs than alcohol. Again, putting cannabis under the umbrella of all drugs. And then they go on to say, and I don't know where they pull this because they don't say which study. They don't, maybe like this is like a a extrapolation of the already wrong studies that they've cited here, but these cannabis smokers had a tenfold increase in car crash injury with infrequent or non-users after adjustment for blood alcohol concentration. So that's crazy. That's saying that's crazy. Tenfold increase in car crash injury. That's crazy. I don't know where they got that number. But they when they put cannabis under the umbrella of all these other drugs, they're saying that cannabis is as bad as these other drugs. And I don't know about you guys, but I've smoked the bowl and I've driven, but I don't know that many people that could take like a hard line of heroin and then hop into the car. You feel me? Like, that's ridiculous. And then let's take into the consideration here, and they mention it in the article, how cannabis stays into the system up to like a month. Meanwhile, the harder illicit drugs stay in your system for a very short period of time, up to like 5 days tops. And that's like being very generous. So these are people who are like fresh off of their fucking illicit drug trip. You know, these people who are testing positive for cannabis, they could easily be very sober by the time they're being tested positive. But the people who have these illicit drugs, they're most likely within like the range of the last time they got high, or still high, especially if they're getting into accidents. So I hate that they're like, this article is obviously skewed towards, you know, demonizing cannabis on the roadway. It's something that's been happening with the legalization of cannabis in Washington and Colorado. There's been just a lot of fear-mongering. People saying that, you know, we're going to legalize it and all these people are going to be out on the road getting high and getting in accidents. That's assuming that the rate of consumption is even going to go up. I mean, you're just allowing people who are already doing it illegally and don't give a fuck to do it legally. I mean, granted, there will be the people who have been holding out because it is illegal, or because it's been difficult because of the illegality. But I doubt that percentage is going to be so significant. It's been proven with previous studies when cannabis was legalized, I believe in Portugal, they saw that the drug consumption rates actually went down for a lot of drugs. So I don't know, man. I don't know the thinking behind this, but what's really insightful here and what's really positive for the pro legalization argument is the fact that people were THC positive for a whole month, even though they were abstinent. That is saying that to test someone for sorry guys, to test someone for THC in their blood is completely moronic. You're saying that a drug that lasts at most, if you eat it, 6 to 8 hours, that's like if you eat like a Titanic brownie, you know, 6 to 8 hours tops, and you're saying for up to 30 days we're going to put you in jail if you drive. That is what you're saying. You're saying that you won't come down from that trip. You know, you're going to be so fucking high that you're going to lose touch of reality for 30 days. That is essentially what they're saying, because you could be sober, you know, but they're not going to take that into account. They're looking directly at the evidence, quote-unquote, which is the THC blood limit. It's really something that it's been happening in the drug testing industry for years and years now. It's a discrimination against weed. I mean, like I said earlier, all the other drugs are out of your system within a few days. I mean, even like psychedelics like LSD and mushrooms, they're out of your system in like a day or two. It's ridiculous. And then pot likes to stay in your system for up to 30. So the drug testing is actually just like skewed and discriminated and focused on targeting stoners. So it's really sad that people keep perpetuating this stoner stigma, that stoners are dangerous in the workplace, stoners are dangerous on the roadways. Hopefully people are able to take this study that was published in the Journal of AACC and really shut down these new DUI laws that are trying to pop up in Washington and Colorado. So I think I've ranted enough about that. There is so much news to get to. I gotta move. This one was interesting. I won't read it. Or I'll touch upon it a little bit, but I won't read the whole thing. 11 rules for legal pot in Colorado. This is published by the Reason website. Oh, excuse me again. It's my GERD. Basically, I'm not going to read this. Basically, it's outlining these new regulations. Like a coalition got together. A coalition. I mean, it kind of is. It's the Amendment 64 Implementation Task Force got together, and it's basically their job to start establishing regulations for this newly legalized marijuana. And it's interesting some of the outlines that they were already starting in this first meeting. The one that stands out to me, pot stores. No, not that one. Excuse me. THC content should not be restricted, but it should be listed on packages. That's interesting. I mean, it's not necessarily like a negative thing. I mean, it's positive for all of us, but at the same time, it's costing these people money to get it tested. I mean, it creates jobs in the testing industry, but those people are making mad cash right now. They're milking the medical marijuana industry. I can't imagine what they'll do to the legal one. Child-proof packaging for marijuana products. That's kind of a given, I guess. You gotta put it in like a pill bottle that they can't just pop open. The amount of marijuana a consumer may buy in a single purchase should be capped at a level below the 1 ounce limit that the Amendment 64 puts on possession, perhaps 1/8 of an ounce for both visitors and residents. So they're basically trying to do, I think it's the same thing that's done in Amsterdam, where they try to keep a database and they limit your consumption. You know, you can go to a coffee shop and you can buy like 3 grams of bud and like a certain amount of grams of hash, and that's it. But then you can go to another coffee shop and buy that limitation again. But then again, there's also like a massive limitation, like a possession limitation. So you have to watch out for that, which is essentially what it seems like they're trying to enact here. I mean, what I find a little disturbing is the fact that they want to limit people's purchases. I mean, if I want to walk into a fucking store and I want to buy my whole ounce, let me buy my whole ounce. It's a lot cheaper that way too, man. Like, it's ridiculous that they're making people like I don't know. It's like the guy in New York. I don't know if it was the mayor or the governor banning extra large sodas. Like, really, dude? Like, we're just like, oh, I mean, we won't buy like 2 large sodas because that's inconvenient. But if we could, we would, you know? Like, it's ridiculous to put caps. Other than, you know, I mean, the one that was obvious was they can't buy more than 1 ounce at the store. That's obvious. And of course, marijuana, they literally says that marijuana should be taxed heavily, with a 15% excise tax imposed at the wholesale level and a special sales tax, perhaps as high as 25%, imposed at the retail level, in addition to an existing state and local sales tax, which total 8% in Denver, for example. This is a little upsetting because we weren't promised, but in I think it was even outlined in one of, at least in, I think, the Washington Amendment, or the initiative rather. My God, I am burp-tastic today. It was outlined in the Washington initiative that there will be a 15% tax on each level of distribution, and there were 3 levels of distribution: the growers, the processors, and then the retail. And now they're essentially saying here that, yeah, we want to have the 15% tax, but now on the retail level, we want to bump it up a bit. And then, if it's not enough, we're going to tax you on your medicine. Because, it could be used as a recreational drug, which is another 8%. So we're talking, sorry, my math is a little rusty here, 48%? Holy shit, dude, 48% tax. So that's crazy. That's gonna, I think, I posted a while ago a video that broke down the 15% times 3 tax, and that it would equal out to about, I think, $12 a gram with 15% taxes. And that wasn't taking into account local and state taxes, I believe. Or maybe it was, I'm not sure. Don't take my word for it. But if they're bumping it up even more, it's going to go from $12 easily to $15 to maybe even $20. That's killer. I love the fact that we'd be able to buy weed and we wouldn't be able to be arrested for it, but there's no fucking excuse for us to be paying that goddamn much for weed. I'm sorry. If I'm paying like $2 a pound for cotton, why the fuck am I paying $3,000 to $4,000, even more dollars for a pound of marijuana? There's no fucking excuse, especially when you're going to be opening up expanses of land for large-scale cannabis growing. This is fucking ridiculous. What this does is it opens up the black market to stay alive and thrive while this legal market stays open. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, what they decide on, how much they want to fuck us in the ass, essentially. And the last one, of course, or actually the last two, the legislature should amend its state ban on smoking in bars and restaurants so that it covers recreational marijuana. This is a little sucky. There have been a couple bars already that have been opening up and saying that there'll be private marijuana bars where you can go and you can drink your beer, smoke your weed in peace. And that's great. Even though that I think Washington has a ban, like they're saying, on smoking in bars. So it's interesting. I think they're actually handling it by having bars with a second floor and smoking on a veranda. So it's smoking out in the open. And then you go downstairs and you have your drink. But, it's hard to argue that. You don't want people smoking up in restaurants and it getting all smelly, and the secondhand smoke, it does carry carcinogens. Let's not joke here. It may not be cancerous, it may be even beneficial, but let's not force that among other people. So, we should also allow the establishments. Clearly I need another bowl. We should clearly allow bars and restaurants to set these guidelines themselves. If a bar wants to advertise that it's a smoking bar, I guarantee it's going to get more smoking customers and just more customers in general, because that's a rarity in this climate. And the last one, of course, home cultivation, which is permitted by Amendment 64, should be kept indoors. That's a little fucked up, man. That's fucked up, bro. Let us grow our fucking weed. This reminds me of the latest episode, the second episode of Weed Country, where this guy in California was exercising his right to grow plants, and he decided to grow them right on his front yard. And the DEA had a big problem with that. It's again like they're saying, hey, you have this freedom. Not really. You can do this, but you can't do that. What is freedom if you're gonna start limiting it? There's no limitation on freedom. What happens if we start drawing those kind of limitations on, say, the freedom of speech? That's ridiculous, dude. But again, people are getting used to weed. Weed is a very new thing. So let's see how this is ironed out. Hopefully the activists in Colorado can really can really bring the other people to our side. Again, moving again, because goddamn, 24 minutes, 25 minutes. Wow. Governor Christie said he's not trying to sabotage medical marijuana program. This was brought to us by CBS Minnesota. I reported it by Cannabis Culture. Governor Chris Christie is denying that he's trying to sabotage New Jersey's medical marijuana program. It's been more than 3 years since medical marijuana was legalized in New Jersey, and only one dispensary has opened up in the entire state, while other clinics have been mired in bureaucratic red tape. It's a move that Christie calls unintentional. No, I'm sorry, whoa. It's a move that Christie calls intentional. I do not want people flying to New Jersey, getting off on a plane, going to some fake doctor, saying they have a headache, and going and picking up pot, which is what's going on in Denver, Colorado, every day. Christie. It ain't happening here. I'd like to personally say, fuck you, Christie. Like, what? I guess the faz got to his brain. That's really what's happened. I think he really needs to check his brain for hemorrhaging here. So let's recap on that magical quote, because that quote is so fucking colorful. Like, I could talk about it for hours. I do not want people flying to New Jersey, getting off on a plane, going to some fake doctor, saying they have a headache, and going up and picking pot, which is what is going on in Denver, Colorado every day. So you're saying in Denver, Colorado, which was one of the most strictly regulated medical marijuana programs in the U.S., if not the most strict, the one that is the model for all the new and emerging medical marijuana programs, that's the one you're going to say people are exploiting, using fake doctors, when I believe, don't quote me on this, I get stoned a lot, but Colorado, they have like a database of doctors that you're allowed to go to. No, I lie. You have to be with the doctor for like a year or something. Like, it's something crazy like that. Either there's an approved list, or that you have to have been with the doctor for a while. It just can't be some guy that you just go and visit. You know, someone that you have to establish a relationship with. Obviously for a fucking long time, a fucking year. So already, going to some fake doctor, out the window. Saying they have a headache, boom. Colorado has very, very strict fucking regulations. It's one of those states where they're arguing to add more limitations, because it's ridiculous. I don't even think Colorado allows for PTSD. Again, don't quote me on that. I get pretty fucking high. But there are some limitations that Colorado does not allow for, and I can guarantee you that having a headache is not one of them. Yeah. So boom, like everything falling to shambles here. What the fuck are you talking? Like, maybe if he would have said California, that statement would have made some sense, because honestly, I could see that happening in California. It's pretty fucking loosey-goosey. I've seen interviews with doctors where they ask them, have you ever denied someone for medical marijuana? And they have that goofy smile and they go, nope, and I never will. Ha 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 ha. You know, like, it's fucking obvious, you know, like, so I understand that that's happening in California, but if you're gonna say Denver, Colorado, you have your head up your ass. You obviously are not paying attention to the news, and if you are, you're looking at it through a very skewed and warped perception. So I fear for New Jersey. Like, did you guys even know that New Jersey had medical marijuana? Like, when I post articles about it, sometimes people go like, New Jersey has medical marijuana? What the fuck? People living in New Jersey. Well, no, let me not say that, because people living in New Jersey fucking hate it. And they fucking, like, I think the price of the card is fucking ridiculous. Like, it's a really shitty example of medical marijuana. And Governor Christie sticking his fucking fat fingers in it is not helping. So there's my rant. Try to keep it short. Next one. How people buy what can't be sold. Marijuana dealers advertise online before regulations are in place. This is by the Coloradan. This was written by Robert Allen. Now that marijuana is legal for people older than 21, home delivery of medical-grade pot is just a few clicks away. Advertisements boast 100% organic and friendly deliveries made to your door, offering strains such as Cadillac Kush and Green Candy. The ads are illustrated with photos of large flowering marijuana buds. I buy from the dispensaries and sell it to people, said John, who drives from Nunn to Fort Collins and as far as Burt Howard to deliver pot to people who call his phone number posted on Craigslist. I make these people happy. John, who declined to be identified by his full name out of privacy concerns, makes about $100 a day after accounting for expenses such as transportation. He receives about 3 to 5 phone inquiries as a result of the ad each day, and doesn't care whether people have state-approved medical marijuana licenses, he said. This is interesting because I posted another article. It's in the crime tag, if you want to have an easier time finding it. But some guy was advertising on Craigslist similarly, or in like a local newspaper, that he was trading a boat or something for a donation of marijuana. Or another one where a guy was taking donations for marijuana. There are people trying to skirt the rules of the law, and police are going to these people, calling them on Craigslist, calling them from these newspapers, meeting up, and arresting them. So it's really interesting that this guy is handling business that way, especially with only, let me not say that, only $100 a day. It's not bad, $700 a week, but still, I don't know, the danger. Again, this is another product of essentially prohibition. I mean, you have this, you say, alright, it's legal, but we have this complicated regulated system that we haven't even worked out yet, that's going to take years to enact and roll in. But pot's legal. You guys can start growing it, or I don't know where you get it. They essentially say that. And then when people, they go and this guy, he's doing a compassionate act. He's using his, I believe, medical marijuana card and providing marijuana for people without it. And he's doing a service to these people. And the cops don't like that. It's such a backwards hypocrisy for the state, really. I mean, you're going to pass this legislation, but you're going to enforce something completely different. I mean, just let people fucking trade money for weed, dude. What's the harm in it? Because you want to make your fucking 50% tax on it? Too fucking bad, dude. I don't know who was thinking that people weren't going to keep doing essentially drug dealing, but it won't be drug dealing because it'll be legal. That's gonna still happen till the end of time. You're gonna buy bud from your buddies, and he's not gonna fucking tax you. What the fuck? Yeah. So I don't know. I wonder how it's gonna be when people roll down for the High Times Cannabis Cup in Colorado on 420. It's gonna be interesting. I want to see if they make any arrests. Ex-DEA heads. Fed should nullify state pot laws. This is brought to us by the Associated Press, brought to us specifically by the 420 Times. 8 former Drug Enforcement Administration chiefs says the federal government needs to act now or it might lose the chance to nullify Colorado and Washington's laws legalizing recreational marijuana use. I'm not even going to read this article. You guys can read it if you're interested. But basically, this is fantastic news for us. The DEA has come out and basically shit their pants and said, if you guys don't fucking stomp out this fire, it's gonna set ablaze this the fire of legalization. This is fucking stellar. This is wonderful. Yet more fucking proof that we need to legalize pot in every single state. That we need to go against the government. We need to allow our right to vote as a state to be viewed as a public protest. If a whole state legalizes it, it's a huge protest to the government, as versus, people just getting together and protesting. Using the legislation, saying that the majority of the people want it. It makes a huge impact. Fuck the people who talk about decriminalization versus legalization. This headway would not have been made if marijuana were decriminalized. Marijuana has been decriminalized in plenty of places in the past decade, and it has not made the kind of headway that these two legalization acts sparked that day onward. I'll get to that decriminalization shit later. I gotta talk some shit about that. But good news, guys. Good news, everyone. Hope you guys like that little tidbit. It's like it's a victory against the fucking faggots who have been undermining us and putting us in jail and treating us like criminals for 50 years now, 50 years. United Nations says changing U.S. marijuana laws violate international drug conventions. This is brought to us by Ross Story, written by Alan Travis from The Guardian. Oh, so it's from The Guardian. Cannabis decriminalization measures across the United States, including the medical use of marijuana in California, have been sharply criticized by the United Nations, which has warned Washington they violate the international drug conventions. Boom, right away. Really fucking interesting here. Notice they say Washington. They do not say Colorado. Why do they mention Washington? Because Washington is on the border between Canada. Washington is a huge state for drug trafficking right now, especially cocaine. Every state on that Canadian border is huge for cocaine trafficking. So obviously the United Nations and anybody who cares about drug control would be concerned. But I find it really interesting that they pinpoint Washington here. They don't talk about Colorado. Fuck Colorado. Who cares about Colorado? It's in the middle of nowhere. We're talking about a possible international drug smuggling problem. Let me continue here. The International Narcotics Control Board, INCB, which polices the drug treaties, has also warned about the growing public health threat from the unprecedented surge in legal highs and called for concerted global action to curb the growing trade. Again, very funny, because they're against legal highs, which the only reason legal highs exist is because marijuana is illegal. I mean, not to say that these legal highs wouldn't exist if marijuana were legal. I mean, people are still going to be inventing crazy shit to get high. People will be doing whippets till the end of time. People just want to get fucking high. The people will fucking put dog shit in a brown paper bag and let it bake in the sun and sniff it just to get high. People will do anything to get high. Alright? So if you're telling me that... I don't know. I mean, I don't want to argue against these people, because at the same time, I do really want to see these spices and shit off the shelves, honestly. From the damage that I've seen in news articles, I mean, they may be hyped up, they may be exaggerated, but if the fucking creator comes out of synthetic marijuana and says that he didn't want people using it recreationally, I don't think it should be on some shelves. But it's interesting that it's like it's a growing threat, unprecedented surge. Like this is some I guess it. Let me not say that, because isn't the United Nations in Europe? And Europe is actually, that's where the synthetic marijuana actually popped up. And they've been dealing with all kinds of synthetic legal highs. Now that I think about it, whoa, I've been talking all this shit. They're not just talking about synthetic marijuana here. They're talking about that ecstasy shit that's in the UK. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's like pigeon or something. It's got a pigeon on it, or a dove. I think it's called Dove. Some shit like that. The chemical is like P1. I'm talking out of my ass here. But there's some like legal ecstasy that's being sold in the UK, and it hasn't been properly tested. And I'm sure this is driving fucking the UK crazy. Because whereas we have like a synthetic marijuana problem, and people get a little high and maybe they end up in the hospital, I can imagine the problems with legal ecstasy, because ecstasy itself is already a problem. Put it into the legal verse and allow you to buy it at like a fucking gas station. I can't imagine. So I take all the shit I talk back. I'm sorry. Because there is an unprecedented surge in legal highs. It's been happening for decades now. Globally, it seems like, but primarily in the UK. Primarily in the UK, honestly. Those people love to get fucked up. I'm not going to read the rest of the article, but basically, I thought it was interesting that they highlighted Washington here. You know, they're scared of this international smuggling between Canada. I don't understand why. I mean, it's been happening already. And it's also a harmless drug. It's not like they legalize cocaine and that's just going to start being trafficked. And the legal highs. Now that I reflect on the legal highs, you know, there's a growing public threat. I hope you guys aren't smoking that fake shit. Educate your friends. Check the WeedPornDaily tag. blog.weedporndaily.com/tagged/synthetic-marijuana, and you'll find a slew of articles of just the damages that the drugs cause. This one's a funny one, kind of. Not really funny because it's kind of sad. Marijuana is illegal in Texas, yet still taxable. Brought to us by the 420 Times. In an attempt to hit marijuana offenders with two separate violations, a law in the state of Texas allows for the controlled substance to be taxed, even while it is illegal to possess under state law. Basically, drug dealers are supposed to pay a tax when a dealer imports, manufactures, produces, acquires, and or possesses a controlled substance. For marijuana, the tax comes in the form of the Texas Marihuna, that's the spelling used by the state, tax stamps, which are printed with the skull and crossbones as well as the iconic image of death. I'm not going to read the rest, but you guys could check it out. It's really, well actually I should read the next part because it's actually pretty fascinating. And before you think no one would buy one, the program has generated $26,000 in revenue since 2008. Although some, like Lorena, Texas City manager Billy Clemens, who helped draft the tax stamp law back in the day, thinks the stamps are being bought by collectors. The list of buyers is not available for public viewing. I mean, I doubt that people are buying them for legit grows, but that would be pretty funny. What's more interesting here is that some old piece of prohibition legislation is still on the books in Texas. That shows you how fucking backwards Texas still is. Let's put our tennis shoes on and take a trip with Mr. Rogers back in history here. And let's take a look at the Marijuana Tax Act of 1937. We at a point in time actually started, we wanted to stomp out marijuana. And how do you do this? Rather than simply just making it illegal, they put a high tax on it to discourage the use of marijuana and the production of it. This was the Marijuana Tax Act. They had these fucking stamps that you bought, and that allowed you, exactly like they said, to do every step of the process for cannabis. And nowadays, obviously, you know, cannabis is just illegal. It's not a matter of it being taxed out and phased out. Like now they phased it out with just illegality, and the police beating us and throwing us in cages. So it's fucking fascinating that Texas, the fucking place where they pull over Willie Nelson, they pull over there were a couple other, I think they pulled over Snoop Dogg, they pulled over a couple celebrities, and they made an example out of them. They said, if you're passing through Texas, don't be fucking bringing weed. This backward-ass state still has a Marijuana Tax Act type of legislation going on. So this is, I mean, it's laughable. I mean, it's really laughable. If you guys ever get a chance, you should look into, there's so much information on it. Jack Herrera's book, The Emperor Wears No Clothes. You could see, what's the fucking movie? I can't believe I forgot it. It's like hemp for victory or something. No, that can't be the name. But there was a propaganda piece put out by the U.S. government against hemp, and it's what the actually no, that was Reefer Madness. But there was actually like a whoa, I'm confusing two different things. I'm sorry, you guys. There is a Reefer Madness piece put out by the U.S. government which discouraged the use of cannabis. And that's fucking fascinating. You should watch that if you want a good laugh. There's a classic scene on YouTube that's available where the guy, like there's a guy and I'm assuming his wife, and the guy sparks up a joint, and they start getting like crazy, and the woman's playing the piano, and the guy's like, faster, 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 faster. Like he just starts going crazy. Like it's an interesting interpretation, or rather demonization of the cannabis high. Excuse me. A little frog coming up in my throat there. So yeah, I really look into the history of cannabis. I brought that up because the history of cannabis is fucking riddled with racism. The reason that cannabis was made demonized or really skewed in the public eye was because they were telling people, and this is on the record, that a politician said that smoking cannabis makes the white woman very sexual and go have sex with the black man. And I am putting it in very tame terms because they use the terms Negro and yeah, not very nice stuff. So if you really check out the history of cannabis, it's fucking ridiculous how it became illegal. I mean, you would assume that somebody smoked a joint one day and died, or like smoked a joint and faked to death, like or like that some huge international incident occurred involving cannabis that would cause that it's complete international, worldwide illegalization. But really, it was one dude who wanted to make paper instead of hemp, and he started using racism and fear tactics and propaganda to send out his message of anti-cannabis, anti-hemp. The thing I mentioned before, I think what was Hemp for Victory, it was a documentary produced by the American government promoting hemp, which is interesting because you see the contrast. You can watch, Reefer Madness, where they're saying that cannabis is this incredibly harmful and dangerous drug, and then you watch Hemp for Victory, and they're saying that cannabis is this incredibly useful and versatile plant. You see this hypocrisy in your government, and you really wonder, whether or not this plant should be really illegal. Blah, 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 legalize cannabis. And really read the history. It's really interesting. I posted, if you check the Jack Herrera tag, actually that's going to be flooded with Jack Herrera nugs. If you search on the WeedPornDaily Google search for The Emperor Wears No Clothes, I recently, within the last few months, posted the complete book for free online. So check that out if you're interested in reading it. And the last article, this was posted today. Judge, medical marijuana users can collect jobless benefits. This is brought to us by the Free Press in Detroit, Michigan. Excuse me again. A Michigan judge has ruled that medical marijuana users who follow the state's medical marijuana law may collect unemployment benefits. The Lansing State Journal reports Ingham County Circuit Judge William Colette's decision Tuesday overturned a state commission that a state-approved medical marijuana user wasn't eligible for benefits after being fired following a drug test. The case involves ex-Hayes Green Beach Memorial Hospital employee Janine Kemp of Lansing, who was fired in 2011. Kemp, whose duties involve performing CT scans and starting IVs, has lupus and neuropathy. She would ingest marijuana in food. Colette says the drug test merely demonstrated what she had informed her employer prior of the test, that she uses medical marijuana. It's really nice that, now that they can collect unemployment benefits, it's still fucked up that they can be fired for it. I'm sorry to say. And it's really interesting because I talked about how they're starting regulations in Colorado now. And there was an article I posted recently, if you look through the news tag, where they were discussing whether or not businesses should be required to allow people to smoke marijuana. Whether or not people can discriminate against you, essentially. And they said, we're going to allow businesses to discriminate. So they're saying that people can go and they can get fucking wasted the night before work and come in and, nothing's wrong. But, you test positive for some pot and we're going to throw you out on the street. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, what? It's ridiculous that people think that marijuana is in any part more harmful than alcohol. Alcohol kills people. Alcohol you can actually die from just drinking alcohol. Like, you can't die from smoking weed. Like, it's ridiculous. And the fact that both highs leave your system fairly quickly, I mean, there's no reason to really be alert. I mean, in this case, maybe because she is a medical marijuana user and she was probably high or medicated, I should say, during working hours. But again, this is a very slippery slope here. She has fucking lupus and neuropathy. There are people in this world who can't even fucking, move their hands properly. There are people who can't drive a car unless they smoke cannabis. You understand? Like, there are people who they use this as a medicine, medical marijuana, and it cures them of their ailments and allows them to act like normal fucking people. And when they start acting like normal fucking people, just because they use this drug and it's allowed them to reach this state of normalcy, they're discriminated against. It's fucking ridiculous. Like, go be handicapped. Give me that drug back. Like, if you want to work here, you gotta fucking have your fucking lupus and neuropathy. If you want to put in an IV, I want to see your fucking fingers, fucking shaking. Like, what? I don't understand the logic behind it. It seems like people they see a law and they blindly follow it. And it's a really dangerous thing. Like, people say that, that it's okay for cannabis to stay illegal. It's not okay. It should say in the books that cannabis is legal, that we have a freedom to smoke cannabis. If not, people will point to the book and they say that we won't. Like, the book is like fucking the Bible for some people, man. Like, yeah, getting aggressive here. Not even making a point anymore. But good news. You can collect your jobless benefits after they kick your ass out for smoking cannabis. That's good news, eh? God damn, fucking conservative bastards. I feel sorry for you guys in Michigan, man. It seems like you really struggle with your marijuana laws. I see a lot of contention, a lot of what is it? A lot of conflict. Not conflicting, conflict. Yeah. I think I'm gonna take a hit now that I've finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 news articles and broken the podcast record. And I'm even about to break the time record here. I'm gonna take a hit of some sativa. I don't know what it is. It's really fruity. I've had it before, but I can't put my finger on what it was. Like, I remember it, and I knew the name before. But man, I've smoked so many weeds in between that. And if I had a little catalog or something, that would be beautiful. Hint, hint. Possibly a new product coming to the WeedPornDaily shop. Hope you guys really like that news segment, man. I've seen a lot of shitty news, man. A lot of busts lately, a lot of bad news. But I've seen a lot of positive news. You gotta really look for it. You gotta look for the gems inside of the negatives sometimes. And I'm really looking forward to getting to the WeedPornDaily news, because I've been really busy with the website, really busy working on everything. Man, and fucking, I wanted to talk about the developments and the ass box. If you guys don't know, you can head over to WeedPornDaily.com/FAQ, and you can see over, I think, 600 or 700 questions that I've previously answered. And on top, you can also submit your own question, or you can just send some love. I don't know, ask me something. Sometimes I don't know. It's the ass box. Use it as you wish. Excuse me. But that is a place for sometimes discussion, because I like to see what you guys' opinions is. I want to hear the other side of the veil. I sit there and I actually don't. I try not to promote my opinion not that much, only in the ass box. But I do spend a lot of time essentially promoting my opinion. I can't help it. So it's nice to get perspective from you guys. And recently, there's been a lot of controversy with cock and legalizing cannabis, and I'm gonna get to that right after this hit. So cheers, you guys. I hope you guys pack your bowls, roll your joints, spark your blunts. Hope the nail is heated up by now. And cheers. Whew. Instant head rush. Love it. I love feeling instantly medicated with a strain. Shows that it's potent. Shows that I can come to it in a time of need. I didn't mention that I hit it out of the Illadelph. I mean, it was probably obvious. You heard that awesome chugging action of the disc percolator. Ah, man, that was a nice hit. Hope you guys join me. Or hope you guys could be one of the essence that I'm conveying of cannabis here. So let's get to the Weed Porn Daily part of the show, where I actually just talk about me. Yeah. Not really. But I've been doing some interesting stuff with the website. I've actually uploaded the changes so you can see them live. I like to do that. I'm not that guy who does like a huge massive revision and uploads it. I like to beta test. I like to just throw stuff out there, because who the fuck cares? Like, you guys are stoned, you guys are browsing the site, like, just click around, experiment. But this particular redesign has been particularly significant for me, because I've actually converted WeedPornDaily.com to solely my content. And it's being distributed in 3 sectors. My photography, my videography, which is Weed Porn Daily TV, and this podcast. And of course, the ass box and ganja guides and my writing and stuff. But it's basically all my unique content. Before, I used to syndicate the Tumblr onto it, and other people's content essentially. And I want to save that, just for the Tumblr. I hated doubling up on the content like that. It really made the database, oversized. I post a lot of shit. I think the Weed Porn Daily Tumblr has 40,000 posts. Don't take my word for it. I'll tell you right now, nigga. 28,000 posts. How about that? That's a huge database. So I'm gonna leave all that to Weed Porn Daily Tumblr. So if you go to blog.weedporndaily.com, that's where you'll see like other people's stuff. You'll see the Nuggetry, you'll see the Glass, you'll see the people I reblog, VV Ganja, Coral Reefer, Stoner Girl, Ultimate Nerd, all those people. You'll just see all that content there. So check, make sure like you. I mean, I'm sure most of you guys are on Tumblr already, but yeah, that's where that content's gonna be. So it's a really big shift now for the website. So it's a big slimming down. You know, before I was struggling with encapsulating all this content and designing a logical site map, and you know, I was focused on the tags because the tags seemed like the only way to organize, 28,000 posts. So it was a little difficult, and now, I'm just dealing with my content, and it's not to say that I don't have a significant amount of content, but I don't have like 28 posts a day's worth of content. So it's a definite shift for the website in terms of content structure, like shit that you guys probably don't care about. So basically, I've added a new tagging system. Like the tags are still there if you go to the single post page, but now on the front page and on the archives and all that shit, you'll see to the left of the post these little avatar looking icon shits, and they'll signify that this particular post lands in a certain sector of content, like let's say GIFs, or I have one for Illadelph, or WeedPornDaily, WeedPornDaily TV, etc. So that was a wave that hit me when I was like, I had like 3 bowls, and it was like 3 in the morning, like it was like that combo, and I was just hit with that inspiration, and everything made sense, and I think it looks good, and like I like to, as much as I like to stick to my design roots, and I like to be very not modern, but I like to stick to the techniques that are established. I do like to break away and just be stonerific sometimes. I know you guys appreciate the GIFs. I know you guys like graphics. I know you guys don't want to see as much text. Like I understand. Like I know you guys would rather scroll than click. Like I take these things into concern, and I apply it to my design, and I think it's culminating into a decent redesign. So stay tuned on the website. It may be buggy. I'm sorry. I'll try to fix it. But basically the focus in the end will be that it's going to be, fun to use, but still easy to understand, and it's going to be fucking mobile friendly. I promise you, you'll be able to look at it on your iPhone, your HTC, your whatever fucking phone you have, your iPad, whatever tablet you have. It'll be, I forget what the word is. And I'm a fucking UX designer, I should know it. It's like flexible design shit. But yeah, and I'm also designing business cards. Again, if you guys donate, I think over $14.20, I'll send you a goodie bag, and the goodie bag includes one of our business cards. These, I'm experimenting with them. Miss WeedPornDaily gave me some nice paper that I want to work with, and I think I have a nice design that'll look really nice on it. And hope you guys get one in your hands maybe sometime. That's it on the WeedPornDaily front. Oh yeah, no, one more thing. I mentioned earlier the Tommy Chong vector. I finished that shit. Took me 2 to 3 days. Not that long actually. I like sat down into the grind, and I put it out. But the Tommy Chong vector is available in the shop, shop.weedporndaily.com. You can get it on a t-shirt, you can get it on a print, like a framed print, iPhone, iPod, iTouch case, all that jazz, a pillow. But it's basically, as I mentioned earlier, just a current portrait of Tommy Chong. And it's done, I don't know if you guys have seen it, or if I've posted anything like it in the shop before, but it's in my vector style, and it's this particular art style that I didn't invent it. It's been out for a while. I was inspired by other artists, but it's a style that I've adopted and I've refined personally, and it's something that I hope to bring you guys more of. Just because I wanted to bring a more artistic spin on the shop. Everything's been typography and design based, and everything on Society 6 is really artistic and really just rich in color and stuff. And I wanted to bring you guys some interesting designs, some stuff that some illustrations, essentially, some stuff in my bag. So expect more. It's a series that I'm doing. Can of celebrities, heroes, activists, etc. As people like Mark Emery will possibly be the next one. I'm thinking of doing Kevin Smith, Joe Rogan. I'm thinking of doing Jack Herrera. Just like everybody who's made a significant mark in cannabis history. I'd like to get to, if possible, and make a dedication to, because it's really like everything, like every joint that I've smoked, every bowl that I've smoked, it's been as easy to get, as cheap to get, and as fucking potent as possible, thanks to the people that I'm hoping to do portraits of. People like Tommy Chong. Tommy Chong is the fucking man. If you don't know Tommy Chong's story, you should fucking check it out, man. He went to jail for his son, man. He is a fucking true example of a man. And now he actually does a podcast with his son. It's pretty fucking funny. His son's kind of a dick, honestly. I'm gonna put that out there. His son comes off like a spoiled, sheltered child. That's really harsh. Wow, that's really harsh. And I don't even know the guy. But just from listening to the podcast, man, I've been listening to I think it's called the Chong on Chong show, something like that. If you look up Tommy Chong on the iTunes podcast directory, you should be able to find it. But he does it with his son, man, and his son, like, I don't know, like he tends to talk over his dad, tends to ignore him, like just like things like I guess like we would expect from a father-son relationship, but at the same time it's just super disrespectful, super childish. Like I don't see why like a 30-something-year-old man should be acting or talking like that, you know? And some matters that they've actually brought on air are kind of weird. Like him, I think he still lives with Tommy, and the guy has like I don't know if it's his wife. I think it's his wife or fiance, long-term girlfriend. But it's just like a child in a nest. Like it's just a very odd. Like the podcast would be great. Like there have been some great stories on it, but that makes it kind of awkward. Just putting that out there. But you guys should check it out. Don't let my warped perspective discourage you. Let me get to the drama mama. If you guys have been on the Tumblr website, blog.weedporndaily.com, and you can follow along by going to blog.weedporndaily.com/tagged/ask. There was a lot of drama recently. I posted a penis, and people flipped out. I mean, it happened before. I don't know if you guys noticed, but previously I posted a penis, and it was like a penis with weed, or a penis with a glass piece. I don't remember, but it was an alright shot. Honestly, it's really hard to find classy penis shots, but that's besides the point. I posted a penis shot because I always post tits and I always post vagina, so I'm like, let me post some dicks. And I've gotten some ass for it, and I've gotten some positive responses for it. So I posted up a dick, and immediately I got a slew of people in the ass box just saying, you know, why you gotta post a dick? Why do you have to put that on my dashboard? Why do you have to expose me to that disgusting thing? Like, I got every color of the fucking ignorant rainbow. It was fucking fantastic. You probably saw some. I did respond to some. I did stomp some. And some people replied to some. Like I posted people who supported the dicks, and it just a lot of drama. And it's really fascinating that I post boobs and I post vagina. Like, I post literally like the 500 by 500 square pixel image is a crotch shot with some nugs, you know? Like, and I got no complaint. No one said anything. I mean, actually, I will admit, occasionally when I post boobs or vaginas, I will get one or two guys, or those guys, you always have these guys, who say, why you gotta post these chicks with the jank ass titties and the fucking flimsy ass vaginas? What's up with that, bro? Why can't you post cute chicks? And to that I say, how fucking dare you? Like, these people are comfortable enough with their bodies to come out and express themselves in an art form and incorporate cannabis, which we all love. I mean, you're on WeedPornDaily. And you're going to discourage that? Like, what message does that send to the quote-unquote cute girls that you find? You know, if you're telling these girls that they're ugly. You know, that's not going to encourage other girls to post pictures. It's not going to encourage anybody. You know, you're a dick. Nobody wants to show you pictures. So I get that every time. It's really disconcerting, man. That's some. I mean, I know I have a lot of children who follow me. It's really, it can't be helped. But, like, man, like, that, to be so judgmental. I mean, I understand that we all have some level of attraction to one another, and that is fundamental in relationships, I will admit, or at least the establishing of relationships. But for some people, it doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter when it's an art form and you're looking at it, man. Like, I appreciate every single titty that I see, man. All titties are good. Like, even if they're missized, if the nipples are big, if the nipples are small, if the areolas are big, if the areolas are small, if the areolas are missized, I don't give a fuck, dude. Like, every titty is, like, unique. There is no perfect titty. I don't know what hentai, what cartoon shit you've been watching, that there are, like, perfect titties. Maybe you've been looking at airbrushed photos all your life, but if you've actually been looking at real titties all your life, real titties do not look like they do in magazines and stuff. Real titties have imperfections, and that's what's beautiful about them. So yeah, I get that, and that's disconcerting. But that's the only complaint I get about boobs and vaginas. But the second I post some dick, rather than getting people say, well, actually I do get people who say that the dicks are ugly, but I'm pretty sure that's a symptom of the same thing that I'm about to talk about, which is the people who say, why you gotta post dick? Why you gotta post dick at all? I don't want to see dick. Why are you subjecting me to dick? I actually had one guy go as far to say that I am forcing dick upon him. This is a quote, okay? I was forcing, I was about to say I was forcing my dick upon him. That was not the quote. I was forcing dick upon him. So that's like me, like, throwing, I was going to say dildos, but it's literally dick. It's like me throwing disembodied dicks at him. But, he said that I was assaulting him with these penises. I was assaulting his eyes with these penises. And to him I say, why were your eyes looking at the penises if they're so disgusted? Why are your eyes so drawn to this penis? Or was that split second when you went, huh, and you scrolled down? I mean, I hope you scroll. I mean, that is the solution. I mean, it's not like I force you to sit there for a second. I'm not like those websites like MeatSpin and shit that all it is just a fucking spinning cock, you know? Like, there is other shit on the website to look at. Plenty of other things in between that post. So to say that, or after, and before, rather. So to say that I'm forcing you in any way to look at it is ridiculous. And to say that you wouldn't expect to see some type of pornographic material on a website with porn in the name is fucking flabbergasting. I don't understand where people come off. But that's enough about me. I mean, I'm sure if you guys are listening, if you guys are on my side, you guys have enough sense to understand that penises and vaginas are good. Both are good. You know, you gotta appease the men and the women and the gays and the lesbians and the asexuals and the pansexuals and the all sexuals, you know? I gotta accommodate to all of them. Except the asexuals. I actually had one chick come on. I think she was like 14 years old. And she was saying that she is no sexual, like she doesn't like men or women. I think that's asexual, I believe. And she doesn't want to see vaginas or penises, and she would just prefer weed. And to her I say, go suck a dick. But seriously, man, I don't understand where people get off telling me what to post on my own blog. Like, if you are really disturbed by that, literally go start your own weed website where it's just weed and no porn, and see how far that goes. I'm doing pretty well posting porn. You know, whenever I post dicks, I don't lose any followers. The first dick debacle, I lost 100 followers, I think, which I gained back that day. You know, like, you guys it seems like the fan base is fairly comfortable with the cock. You know, like, the guys are comfortable with their own member, and the women are pretty happy seeing pretty happy seeing that package, rather. So I'm glad that, honestly, like, I really, what I wanted to come out of this wasn't me to rant, which happened, but I wanted to thank you guys. I wanted to thank everyone who came out in support for equality. I really appreciate that. That really shows just a higher level of thinking there. Like, that shows that you're not only thinking about yourself, but you take other people's, cares and, you take other people into consideration. You know, you take, your actions and what they may cause on other people into consideration. You know, you don't say no dicks because some people want dicks. And, a dick doesn't hurt you necessarily. So why stop other people from having weed? I mean, dick. This argument is so similar. But you feel me, man? I really appreciate that. It really cemented that I have an excellent fan base. You know, I do get a lot of trolls. I do get a lot of fucking shitheads. But I don't think they're really fans. They're just people passing by. Or maybe they are fans and they're just a little misguided. But it seems like the majority of you guys are fucking smart motherfuckers. Like, I don't know how else to compliment you guys, man. Take the fucking compliment. I don't do compliments well. And the legalize it rant. I also wanted to talk about that. More recently, if you check the ass tag, some of them might not be tagged. So you can just scroll down or check the blog archive by going to blog.weedporndaily.com/archive. But I had a discourse with one person, but more of just a promoting of my opinions on the subject of legalization, and particularly legalization versus decriminalization. And I wanted to I just wanted to express that decriminalization is fucking bullshit. Decriminalization is simply a step towards legalization in a lot of places. It is not the final step. It is just a footstep in the path. Like, the most recent case that I can give you guys, which you can literally look at by going to the Hawaii tag on the WeedPornDaily website, blog.weedporndaily.com/tag/Hawaii. Trying to get you guys on those tags, man. If you check the Hawaii tag, you will see that recently Hawaii decriminalized marijuana, the possession, and they still fine you $1,000 if you're over that possession limit. So they're saying, and they literally came out and they said, why is the tax, why is the fine so high? And they said, to let people know that cannabis is not legal. This is a statement. This is saying that you do not have the freedom to do this. They are simply being lenient. They are saying it's not worth the criminal justice system's time to deal with you, but we still want to milk you for $1,000 fucking dollars. You know, like, I can't believe people would say that decriminalization is the way to go. I understand one person that I was going back and forth with. I understand their argument in particular, and it's one that I see time and time again in the ass box, actually, where people are against legalization, and this happened in California, because they're comfortable with their current job in the black market, or their current job in the medical marijuana trade. And that is despicable. That is fucking atrocious. If you care more about money than you do about marijuana, then get the fuck out. You're not part of this club. You're part of the money club. And the money club is full of filthy fucking dirtbags. And you're one of them, because all you care about is money. You know, if you really cared about cannabis, if you really wanted to get this medicine out to people, if you really wanted to create safe access to a great a panacea, man, like a perfect plan, then it wouldn't be about the money. It isn't about the money. It's about getting it to the people. So the people who vote against legalization are essentially saying, I'm comfortable right now, and I don't want to get a job in some regulated system. I don't want to change. I'm comfortable. I like the way things are. You know, I'm milking the system the way it is right now, and I'm assuming that things aren't going to change. Things aren't going to get worse. You know, like, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, we legalize cannabis, and yes, we will get rid of jobs. It's something that a lot of people don't talk about, but it's an important issue to discuss. And with the loss of jobs, we're going to see, you know, prison guards lose their jobs. You know, prisons are going to shut down. Most of the people in prison are there because of pot possession. It's a dirty fucking fact. And then we're going to see the people who fucking shut down the marijuana crops. That's going to slim down. There's not going to be as much money coming in, you know? There's not as much money shutting down heroin and cocaine and drug busts. There's a lot of easy money in cannabis. We're going to see those jobs slim down. Everybody who's fucking dealing on the street, they might lose their job because the regulated system's going to create some cheap cannabis if they don't fucking overtax it by 50%. What the fuck are these people? Alright, anyway. But, you know, the dealers might lose their job. The growers might lose their job to these large-scale growers if the big companies get into it. But it's really short-sighted thinking, you know? It's people looking at the negative. They don't look at the positive. They don't look at the doors that open rather than simply the doors that are closing. And the doors that are opening here are new jobs. The marijuana retail jobs. You could become a fucking clerk at a cannabis shop. I know you don't like to be a clerk. Nobody likes to be a clerk. But imagine just chilling in front of fucking nugs all day smelling weed and then helping people pick out medicine. How fucking dope is that? Employee discounts, anyone? Like, come on, dude. Like, and then you get to pick out, like, the most dankest buds if you want. Like, you get first pick. Like, that's ridiculous, dude. Like, that is a great benefit. Or you could become a manager if you want to be entrepreneurial about it. You can open up your own cannabis shop. Or if you want to be a grower, you can actually get in contact with a bank now that it's federally legal, and you can pull out a big loan, and you can buy a big plot of land, a bunch of fucking seeds, and you can get to growing, man. Like, there's no fucking excuse that you can't open up to these big projects. Like, I find it flabbergasting. I find it fucking insulting, actually, that these people, they want to keep this market that it's really small, honestly. Like, you know, these black markets, they're designed to work, you know, where you just do these distributions and, like, in small circles. It's not this huge chains nationwide or international. You know, it's not like a real product. You don't have graphic designers doing labeling. You don't have people dealing with shipping and well, you do have people dealing with shipping and shit. But, like, it's not legitimate, you know? Like, it's it's like keeping cannabis as a special thing when it's just another fucking product, dude. Like, the reason it's so expensive is because we keep it as like this special underground thing. But the second that we bring it out into this regulated market, the second that, you know, it starts being grown on a massive scale everywhere, you know, we can start to see some results. I've been talking for a while. I've been ranting for a while. But basically, legalize it. I had one guy come at me and say that I'm closed-minded, and that I don't know what else he said. He said I was closed-minded and that I stole gifts, which is fucking retarded. It's just a guy trolling. But I thought the closed-minded part was interesting. I actually posted it to let people know that I'm not closed-minded at all. I love, you know, I hate to say it, but I'm a Libra. You know, I'm that guy that loves to play devil's advocate. I will take the other side and I will play with it and understand it and see that from that perspective, to fully understand the scope of the whole situation. So I do look at the other side. I have seen the other facts, and I'm still not convinced by them. So if you want to bring a decent argument to the table, feel free to go to WeedPornDaily.com/FAQ and drop it in the ask box. And I will be willing to debate with you if you bring a I don't want to say cognitive, like a just logical enough debate. If it just stands up, man. Because a lot of these arguments are fucking House of Cards. And that is it for the dick drama and legalized rant. Thank you guys for joining me. This is like the longest podcast. If you've been listening this long, you deserve a fucking cookie, man. A fucking cannabis cookie at that. I love you guys. I thank every day that I have a fan base. I mean, I say it all the time that I don't do it for the fans. I post for fun, and I just try to have a good time. And, you know, at the end of the day, without the fans, I wouldn't be anywhere. You know, I wouldn't have a fucking sponsor. We have a sponsor now, PGP. Head over to WeedPornDaily.com/PGP and get some medical marijuana delivered to you in Cali. I wouldn't have that sponsor if I didn't have an actual fan base to legitimize myself, you know? And I wouldn't have such a vigor to do it if I didn't have the support of the fans. Like, you guys do empower me all the time when you send me the love and the support, and when I post trolls and you guys are like, fuck that guy, do what you want, you know, he's a fucking asshole, he doesn't know what he's talking about, Weed Porn Daily all day. Like, I love it, you know. It really helps me keep going, especially on the harder days when the ass box is full of trolls and I gotta slew through it, or I gotta fill up a queue, or just do the tedious stuff, or I'm just having a bad day because of my illness. Excuse me, speaking of the fucking GERD. So thank you guys again, I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for buying from the shop. You guys have been prolifically buying, and it's really just been supporting me. Like, anything you buy from the shop actually supports me. You know, donations, they go towards giveaways and contests, and all the donation money ends up getting funded back to you guys. But the shop, that's what pays my paycheck. You know, that's what, you know, pays for all the time I put into the website, and I truly appreciate it. So head over to shop.weedporndaily.com and buy some more t-shirts, because I would love you guys. Or buy some pillows, man. They're actually cheaper. The most popular product is the fucking nug texture one, and I don't blame you guys, because it's the best one, honestly. It's just nugs. It's a pillow with just nugs on it, and you can bury your face in nugs, and it's a beautiful thing. So check it out, shop.weedporndaily.com. I think I've pimped each sector. Big changes coming to the strain database. Check it out while you still can in its current form. db.weedporndaily.com. I've got over, I think, 500 or 600 strains. I use that number a lot, if you guys notice. It's not because I'm bullshitting, but it's literally because they both the FAQ and the database tend to have the same amount. But like 500 to 700 strains in that database, db.weedporndaily.com. You can see which strains have the highest THC content, highest CBD content, what strains are sativa, indica, hybrid, etc. Or just strains. Like, there are a lot of strains in there that I'd never heard before I added them into the database. So weeducate yourself, head over there, and expand your knowledge of cannabis. Throw out some new strain names on your friends. If you're a dealer, it's a list of bullshit names to give your customers. I think that's it. Head over to the YouTube channel, please. I've been posting plenty of videos. I've been trying to post one every day. youtube.com/user/WeedPornDaily or WPD.TV.WeedPornDaily.com. And just check out our channel. I post a bunch of bong rips from the Illidale and the Black Leaf bong, some joint rolling and smoking videos. I'm trying to diversify the content. I actually post a podcast up there, and I post it with video and stuff. That's pretty cool. If you guys haven't seen that, I still have to do the one with Weed Country. I'm debating. I wanted to just post a whole fucking Weed Country episode and just have me like talking over it, but I don't know if YouTube would take that down or not. I'm debating. But this one will probably be up, and you'll see like I'll probably post pictures of the Weed Porn Daily redesign, the Tommy Chong Vector. I'll probably post pictures of dicks. Actually, I can't because it's YouTube. Pixelated dicks? Probably No. Yeah, you'll see. You'll see. I'll skirt the law. But yeah, check that out, the YouTube. Check out the Instagram. I haven't been posting lately because I actually broke my iPod, which I use to post to Instagram, and I'm getting that replaced by the warranty, hopefully. Crossing my fingers. But follow us on Instagram. It's Ganja Grouch, not Weed Porn Daily. Ganja Grouch, because some other douchebag got there first. Maybe he's not a douchebag. He just got there first, and I'm a sore loser. But Ganja Grouch, I try to post every day. Post lots of weed porn, lots of crystally nugs, all that good shit. I'm done pimping. I love you guys. I really do. I pray that occasionally you truly take the time to appreciate the cannabis plant. It is a tool. It does get used ritualistically sometimes, and it's easy to lose sight of it. And it's great to just sit down, just nothing on, maybe like a podcast or some good serene music. But just chill out, smoke a fat fucking bowl, or take a fat dab, or smoke a fat blunt straight to the face, and just get super blazed. Close your eyes and focus on your breathing. And really open up your mind to truly your mind. We live inside of our bodies a lot of the time. We live in a world of feelings, and we tend not to explore the spectrum of the mind. So sitting back and just breathing and opening up to this new world, and not necessarily letting go of our feelings, but interpreting them in this new spectrum, and embracing Mary Jane's hand and going with her on a beautiful journey. Just maybe possibly closed eyes visuals, colors popping up, shapes that you can't describe or don't know why they're popping up, a noise, patterns, fractals possibly. Just exploring that and going deeper in, and just letting Mary Jane take you and guide you, because that's what she does. The ganja guides you. It tries to show you the truth. It tries to let you be honest with yourself. It tries to keep you on the straight and narrow, to be cliche. Mother Cannabis, she'll tell you all the answers you need to hear. You just need to tune in. Open your ears. Drop out and tune in. So I hope you guys share some intimate moment with Mary Jane sometime. And even if you want, hey, get sexual with her, man. She's kinky like that. What's up? But I really hope you guys get a chance to meditate with marijuana. It's truly a beautiful experience. It can lead to some enlightening moments. I know a lot, like I can't speak for other people, but I've gotten it from a lot of people too, where, you know, you smoke marijuana, let's say to work, or to watch a movie or do something, and you just get this bevy of ideas, or you get flaunted with this confrontation of yourself, you know, and you're reminded of this one horrible thing you did in your past, and you have to come to terms with it right now, or you have to suffer with it. And things like that, you know, they're not that bad when you're actually sitting and meditating, and they're more insightful when you're in that zone rather than distracted. So I hope you guys possibly do that. I don't know if you guys like meditation. Try some yoga while high. Yoga, if you guys didn't know, was actually designed to get cannabis circulating through your system better. So I would highly recommend it. It gets you much higher if you do it right. And it's really fucking good for your body. It gets all your limbs stretched out. Like, yoga is fucking, it's like a marriage with any sort of strength training or just life. Keeps you limber. Maybe some Tai Chi. I don't want to discriminate. Tai Chi is pretty fucking cool too. I'm rambling. I love you guys, and I hope you guys spread the love energy, and when you walk out, you walk with pride and love, and fill the world with love, because that's what it needs. All we need is love. And weed too, because goddamn, where would love be without weed? Makes love making so much better. Thank you guys for joining me. Hope you guys check out the news segment. Really stay weeducated, stay active. I didn't talk about a lot of things. There's a lot of news to catch up on. A lot of activism happening. I believe Illinois, just today, Illinois, just legalized medical marijuana. Boom, baby. Big news. Check that out. Just lots of movements, man. Check it out. blog.weedporndaily.com/tag/news or Weeducation up top. And thank you guys for listening. Much love. Stay regular, super stoners. Fucking dick drama. Can't believe these people. I swear to God. Makes me want to post dicks all day. Just dicks all day. I mean, I'll post weed with the dicks, but dicks all day. Dick porn daily. No. Stay regular, guys.